Welcome to Biafra News. That Biafra here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on where you're watching me from. So I would like to welcome all the new and old subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate. So my I bring you another news, another video coming from Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Barrister San Ezekome. He said he's on his knees begging the Buhari and Asorock to order for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and tortured in Kenya for 8 days before he was illegally renditioned back to Nigeria. And up till date, Nigerian government has not explained to the whole world or EU or UN how they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, and they are still holding him even when their own court has ordered for his release. Appellate court discharged and acquitted Nnamdi Kanu, but Nigerian government refused releasing him. Malami came out and said that Nnamdi Kanu was only discharged but not acquitted. They have not explained to the whole world how they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, and they are still proving stubborn on releasing him. So Barrister San Ezekome said that his nails are on the ground, pleading with the Buhari and Asorock to release Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, nobody supposed to plead on Nigerian government to release Nnamdi Kanu. The Nnamdi Kanu supposed to be released unconditionally, or should be released unconditionally, and Nigerian government telling the whole world how they kidnap Nnamdi Kanu. But because they always Britain always help them buy their way out, they are proving stubborn on releasing Nnamdi Kanu. But Elohim is in charge. He will be released, and they will regret all their actions. So I will allow you to watch the video. Here is the video.
This man free. Nnamdi Kanu is sick. He's not well. In the DSS Gulag, they are increasing his potassium level. He has ear pain. And the DSS doctor has diagnosed that he needs an operation. But they will not allow him independent opinion from his own doctor. This has been going on. And because of that, in order for him not to die, we have told the Supreme Court to do the needful. The case has been adjourned to the 11th of May. But here is calling on President Buhari, please sir, on my bended knees, you can order the release of Nnamdi Kanu today. You can do it through the Attorney General of the Federation, who has the powers to enter a nolle prosequi, discontinuance of the cases. After all, there's even no case now. It's just being held illegally. Let him go. Let my people go. You don't have to wait for the Supreme Court decision. You don't have to wait to go on May 29. Let Nnamdi Kanu go. So what do we do to bring about this handshake so as not to take too much of your time? Because there are other activities. We should get it right. First, leadership. Like the Asian tigers. Because Professor Chino Achebe told us in his epic, The Trouble with Nigeria. He said the trouble with Nigeria is simply and squarely a failure of leadership. The Nigerian problem is the unwillingness or inability of its leaders to rise to the responsibility, to the challenge of personal example, which are the hallmark of true leadership. I want to add the problem of followership, complex ethno-religious composition that divide us, high power distance culture, corruption, which is on steroids, weak institutions, and the fact that we have a state captured by elite buccaneers of power. We do not practice democracy, I have said. A beautiful concept defined on the 19th of November 1863 by American President Abraham Lincoln. We don't. As government of the people, for the people, and by the people. I have coined and have added to our political lexicons what we practice. Many crazes that we practice, all of them devoid of democracy. We practice electionocracy, 4-year interval rituals by which we go and select or so-called elect our leaders. We practice judocracy, a government where the politicians fight. In fact, the Nigerian courts are the busiest in the world on election petitions. The politicians mess up our democracy, they fight, they go to the court, and the court incubates midwives and give birth to your governor for you or to your president. We practice executocracy, a system of government where the executive is so powerful and so despotic and autocratic that it behaves more like Louis XIV of France, that will stand in front of parliament imperiously in 1655 to declare l'état, c'est moi, I am the state. We practice legislatocracy, a system which has been exemplified by the Ninth National Assembly of yes, 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 Mr. President, like the Agama lizard. Every bill, every request, yes, sir, Mr. President. And when a person comes to be screened for an important national position, say, oh, we know you, Michael Zekome. We don't need to screen you. Take a bow. I call them Mr. Take a Bow National Assembly. That's what we also practice, legislatocracy. So I put here some of the things we should do to have this handshake, not just across the Niger, but also across the Benue, imitating the Asian tigers, investment in skills, advancement in technology, engagement of specialized agencies, establishment of pilot projects, involvement of international agencies, adaptation of foreign imported technology, massive investment in infrastructure, manufacturing, proper and prudent management of our natural resources, disciplined, relatively cheap, educated and skilled workforce, targeting high literacy level, formulating and implementing deliberate government policies, strengthening the developments of agriculture, encouraging industrial development, human capital development, developing small and medium-scale enterprises, maintenance of political, social, as well as macroeconomic stability, creating a sound financial system, leadership that prioritizes citizens' welfare, encouraging a savings culture, and developing export-oriented industries to produce. Having said that, I decided to say, having failed on all indices, on all political and constitutional experiments and experimentations, the 1922 Clifford Constitution, the 1946 Arthur Richards Constitution, the 1951 Macpherson Constitution, the 1954 Littleton Constitution, the 1960 Independence Constitution, the 1963 Republican Constitution, the 1979 Obasanjo Constitution, the 1989 unused IBB Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, which we have already amended 4 times, imposed on Nigerians by General Abdulsalami Abubakar government, which is actually a schedule attached to Decree number 24 of 1999. We have failed on all this. What do we need to go forward? We need a brand new constitution. Make no mistake about that. It is not the type of constitution that you are going to amend under section 9 of the constitution, because you cannot amend a bad product. Amendment plus alteration multiplied by amendment added to amendment can never cure the present constitution of its original sin, which is that it does not represent the birth certificate of Nigeria, which a constitution must be. A constitution must be autochthonous, homegrown, indigenous, legitimate, and recognized by the people. We do not have such a constitution. We have a militarily imposed constitution. So when the present constitution tells us, we the people of Nigeria do hereby make and give to ourselves the following constitution, it's a lie. The constitution tells a lie by itself and in itself. We need a brand new constitution. It's like saying, like Naaman the leper, we need to dip ourselves into a socio-economic and political river Jordan to cleanse ourselves of our leprosy. We can't go on like this. You cannot cure an ailment so serious like leprosy with medicine meant for eczema. It will not go away. Your leprosy will become till your fingers are chopped up. Nigeria is a country on autopilot, on a journey to new destination. That a new constitution has been gotten before, yes, I can tell you that. Iraq in 2005, Kenya in 2010, Eritrea in 1994, South Africa in 1994, 93, 94, Iran in 1979, after the Ayatollah Khomeini revolution, Bangladesh 1991, Morocco 2011, Egypt 2012, Tunisia 2002, and the American experience, which we should all emulate to go forward. They met between May 14 and September 17, 1786. They were already a great nation, but they wanted a more perfect union. So they met in Philadelphia and decided to have a more perfect union. That was where they made their constitution, signed by 39 out of the 55 attendees. It was that constitution that threw up the great federalists, people like George Washington, after whom the capital, Washington, D.C., is named. People like Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, people like Thomas Jefferson, James Madison. They are called the Federalists. They agreed on republicanism, they agreed on federalism, they agreed on presidentialism, they agreed on the principles of division or separation of power, a concept earlier in 1748 popularized by Baron de Montesquieu, a great French philosopher. And they decided we need to be together. Then they had what we call judicial review. Today, we have a unitary constitution. It is not federalist. 67 items on the exclusive legislative list. What is the federal government's business with marriage? Marriage Act. Do you know that your relationship between you and your wife is governed by the Marriage Act? Federal government. Matters that should even be left to local governments, not even states. They license your car, your vehicle. What's their business? So, I believe that we need, in building our blocks, to recognize the burdens of long-term violence and shun them, elicit plans from locals, conflict transformation, insider and outsider links, dealing with spoilers, identifying obstacles to strategic peace building efforts, elicit and evaluate how we live together, ensure everyone lives in safety, ensure that everyone is equal before the law and that there are no special sacred cows, ensure that everyone has fair and equal access to the basic needs of life, ensure the principles of federal character is respected, bringing different groups together, engaging in various forms of diplomacy to strengthen our bonds, for the things that unite us are more than the things that divide us, to make ourselves a Dolly Parton's coat of many colors, improve our justice delivery system, working to improve community development, working together with businesses and trade to create sustainable jobs, improving infrastructure, creating free and inclusive media, making development programs in conflict areas. And at the risk of being tautologious, we must have purposeful and deliberate leadership. We must respect human rights and the rule of law. Let us stop burning bridges. And let me make it clear, the Igbos can be president. This has become a national question that must be answered. He will not be an Igbo president. No. I'm saying a person of Igbo extraction can and should also be president of Nigeria. Make no mistake about it. If we do not have tolerance, respect for each other, facilitating these issues using our present, maybe our present template that at least we have for now, the NYC, the National Peace Committee, the National Human Rights Commission, the Legal Aid Scheme, National Council for Women's Society, National Youth Council, Nigerian Council of Interreligious Affairs, and we do not have equity, fairness, and social justice, we are in trouble. Make no mistake about that. And if you can no longer live together, rather than kill yourselves, if a man and a woman, I'm not advocating for that. I'm always saying in the extreme of moments, if a man and a woman can no longer live together, let them sit down and renegotiate their union. Okay, when you were my girlfriend, this is how we were going. Yes, you, when you were my boyfriend, this is how we were going. What is